Rise and shine. It's time to get the day started with the morning show of record for the Homestead community. It is the Farm2Table Direct Show, morning edition. But on today's show, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to be more self reliant starting today. Stay tuned to hear all about it. But first, let's check in with the Redneck Weather Report.
Well, good morning, Rednecks. It is 23 degrees, January the 23rd, 2025. We got a 7-mile-an-hour northwest wind that makes it feel like 16 degrees. But we're going to get to 43 degrees today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Jack. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Rebecca. Glad to see you all up with me this morning. And what's the weather where you live? It's 25 here where I'm at, just a couple of degrees warmer than Jack's, and our high is 41. So I don't know. We got wind gusts up to 9 miles an hour. So I tell you, it's going to be another chilly day here in western Arkansas and Oklahoma. So we'll see how it progresses, but at least it's not in the teens in single digits. So we do have a little bit of a warm up, and I am super excited about that. Just a reminder, everybody in here already knows, but just a reminder, this is a live chat event, so please join in. For those watching on replay later, please feel free to leave comments, and we appreciate the feedback and love the questions. And to the good morning, Joy, glad to see you in with us this morning. And to those who are our silent listeners, those that are working, doing other things that can't reply, we're certainly glad to have you in as well. We're going to jump straight in this morning to today's reality smackdown. The Lincoln Riley Act heads to President Trump's desk. That's a pretty good deal right there. That's a bill that was introduced. It went through a lot of back and forth, but it did pass. And that's, of course, Lincoln Riley was a young lady that was. Good morning, Monty. Glad to see you. 30 up there and falling through the day. You're going the wrong way, Monty. You gotta get that going up through the day. That's bad business. But anyway, she was assaulted, murdered, and everything by an illegal alien, and so they finally got some legislation passed that deals with those situations, allows things to happen there, and it is headed to President Trump's desk. And unless there's something in there that's just totally messed up, I fully expect it to be signed. Rebecca, 30 there, and don't know what the high will be. Well, at least you're starting out warm, but if it's doing what Monty's is doing and dropping through the day, that might not be so nice. But anyway, Hughes Fire in the Castaic Lake area north of Los Angeles Los Angeles County forced evacuations with warnings of immediate threat to life, while much of Southern California remained under a red flag warning for extreme fire risk due to strong, dry winds. They're finally getting them other ones under control, and now we got this other one coming in. So more fires out there, and so we'll see what happens with that. Prayers for those people that are in the path of that and having to deal with that out there. Uh, Pentagon sending 1,500 active duty troops to the border to help with the immigration crisis. Little side note here: President Trump, declared a state of emergency at the border, declared an invasion, and it's little technicalities like that that allows him to now. Which I think he could have used the military. They could have used the military all along. I know they have because the military's worked in conjunction with Border Patrol for decades in building walls and building fence and working their joint task force with them because it is border protection and not law enforcement per se. They weren't involved in some things, but anyway, at least when I was in, things have changed since then. But anyway, and Wednesday, President Donald Trump unveiled the Stargate project, which will invest up to 500 billion to build artificial intelligence (AI) infrastructure in the United States over the next 4 years. So it is here. AI is definitely a part of what's going on in the world, and Donald Trump, President Trump, and his people are investing in it. we're investing in it apparently as citizens of the United States. But here we go with it. So that is your reality smackdown for today. Now, for this day in history, January 23rd, 1812, 7.8 earthquake shakes New Madrid, Missouri. And for those of us that live around this particular part of the globe right here in the Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, we're all down in through here. We live on that fault line. And funny story, I lived in California for 3 years. Had many small quakes, but definitely had a big quake while I was there. And never felt the one. And the one that I should have felt, which was the Ridgecrest quake, earthquake, which was like a seven something. I said it was high. It was a big quake. I was camping on the beach. Well, I learned that sand it doesn't move. So I never felt it. And I was sleeping. We were camping on the beach. I never felt it. Everybody said, "How?" And so I missed out on feeling an earthquake. Well, fast forward a whole lot of years, and I guess it was 2016, 17, I guess it was. The New Madrid had a little bit of shake, so we had an earthquake over in Oklahoma, right around the Perry area, which I don't know where that's at. It's Stillwater, the northern part of Oklahoma, up there, north central. But in fact, not too far from where uh, brain just had a freeze right there. Uh, anyway, I'll get back to it. But anyway, famous people live out there. I say celebrity, famous people. Makes all that cookware and everything. Anyway, Drummond's, their ranch out there. I was real close to there, and got woke up. Earthquake. I was in my semi truck, and it started shaking. I thought somebody was messing with my truck. To be honest with you, I thought somebody was jumping on my truck. Got up, looked out. Nope. Uh-uh. And I was on the phone with my wife. She was back here in Arkansas, and then all of a sudden she felt it. That's when I realized it was an earthquake. So, had to be in Oklahoma to feel an earthquake. Didn't make sense to me then. Doesn't make sense to me now. But anyway, 1849, Elizabeth Blackwell becomes first woman in the U.S. to earn a medical degree, graduating from New York's Geneva Medical College. 1899, Emilio Aguinaldo is sworn in as president of the First Philippine Republic. So they, I guess, got rid of whatever was there, and anyway, so there he was. So that's for our friends in the Philippines. 1930, Clyde Tombaugh photographs. We're going to have an argument now this morning. It's a dwarf planet Pluto. Now, some people, they say it's a dwarf planet. Some people say it's a major planet. Messes up everything we learned in school. I still call it a planet. But anyway, so he got a photograph of that. Here was a fun one from our childhood and adulthood. 1957, Wham-O Company acquires rights to the Pluto Platter, plastic flying disc toy from inventor Walter Frederick Morrison. They rename it Frisbee in 1958 as a nod to the Frisbee Pie Company, whose empty cans were tossed by Yale University students, including Morrison, in the 1930s. So there you go. Took something he did when he was in college and made a great toy out of it. And I remember playing Frisbee a lot. Anyways, people still playing Frisbee. Dogs love Frisbees. And fast forward quite a ways, 1973, the Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, announces that the 1954 operating agreement between a consortium of oil companies and Iran will not be renewed when it expires in 1979. Of course, many of us may remember 1979. In that time frame, he was ousted, and Ayatollahs took over, and we had the hostage situation and all that. So, not a good time, and we've had trouble there ever since. 1977, the miniseries Roots premieres on ABC. Didn't realize it had been that long, but I guess it has. Anyway, and to finish it off on a high note and give everybody a good laugh this morning, 2018, 12 camels disqualified. I said right. I said 12 camels disqualified from the King Abdulaziz Camel Beauty Contest in Saudi Arabia after their owners used Botox on their lips. Now, if that don't get you chuckling in the morning, or at least give you an image, hey, good morning, Troy, glad to see you in with us. But if that don't give you a chuckle about camels, beauty contest, and using Botox on the lips, Imagery to start the day. Anyway, so glad to see you. So that is today's day in history. I always like to do that. Sometimes find those little fun headlines like that one. But anyway, we're going to jump right into it this morning. I hope everybody is doing well. We're doing okay over here. Just looking forward to a little bit warmer weather. Hopefully, we're past the harshness of the year. But anyway, so, on to today's topic 5 ways to be more self reliant starting today. Self reliance, a pathway to empowerment. The, mo- the notion of self reliance revolves around taking deliberate steps to live more independently while fostering a sustainable and resourceful lifestyle. This concept appeals to individuals seeking greater control over their lives amidst a world that heavily relies on external systems for daily necessities. So, we're going to get into 5 practical ways to become more self reliant today. Growing your own food, buying directly from farmers, adopting secondhand and barter based practices, trying new DIY skills, and reducing energy bills. Each of these approaches contributes not only to personal independence but also to broader goals of sustainability and community building. So, we're going to break these down, and I got to make a little statement first. I realize that many listening may already have these down or be working on them. Never hurts to have a refresher. And second, many may or may not have heard it like this or seen it this way. And we may have some folks that are trying to learn, may want to hear this. And so we're going to break this down and we're going to learn together, refresh together. Um, Starting off, number one, grow your own food. Now, that sounds simple. We all know that. Well, some of us know that might not be so simple, but here we go. It is, however, one of the most empowering aspects of self reliance. It's the ability to provide food for yourself and food for your family. But it can begin with a practical step, a practical suggestion. Um, Start a vegetable garden. And I would even encourage small scale gardening, such as containers or that type of thing, raised with small trays. Start out small, learn on small, even if you've got acreage like I do, don't go out busting up an acre or 2 acres of land, or building a monster greenhouse or anything like that. Start small in containers. Wicking pots are a great option. I've been looking into that. Raised bed where you can have a small bed, and it's manageable. Or even like I said, I mean, the old hanging plants. There's a lot of things out there to help somebody getting started in this and keeping it small, so that you learn small. If you can get it small on a small scale, then if you want to upgrade, you can. Um, but by planting crops or garden, you're not just cultivating food, you're cultivating confidence, resilience, deeper connection. And over time, expanding your garden allows you to rely less on commercial food chains, saving money while ensuring fresher and healthier produce. The simple act of nurturing a seed to fruition brings a profound sense of accomplishment, and I will promise you it does. There's just something cool about growing something yourself, getting to enjoy the fruits of your labor, literally, and seeing it happen. Uh, Good morning, bro. Glad to see you in this morning. And anyway, so I don't know how many here have grown gardens or currently growing gardens or plans to grow gardens. We're planning to grow a raised bed. I know I've got a couple of boxes, a couple of things already out there. I've just got to get in there and get them lined, get the drain holes in them, get the soil in them, and have them ready when the weather breaks and we're able to plant. That's still several weeks away. Um, have planned to every year. Still haven't done it, but still not too late. I've got a seed starter kit. Got my trays, got my seeds. Just got to go get the soil that goes in it. Get them things. Figure out where and to get them the best sunlight and get them a grow light. But anyway, uh, just a good thing you can do, and it does. It's a good step towards that. You can produce your own food. Uh, just much like everything else, baby step that up. Start small, learn small, and then you can scale it up according to your wants and needs. Next, this one's one that I really I think is important for consumers to meet producers, and that is buy directly from farmers. Uh, for those who cannot raise animals or grow all their own food, buying direct from farmers is a valuable alternative. Let's see, Rebecca says she buys lettuce. So lettuce starts from the farmer's market and plant them at home. And see, and that's a good thing with grow food. You can do that. You can go out, whether it's a farmer's market or a local nursery provider or someplace like that, and get them where they're already started, and then you just transplant them, move them into their containers or move them into the ground, and it is an excellent way. I have done that myself. And I've had pretty decent success. My failure wasn't the start. The start did its job. It was me on my end. I didn't have it in the right container. Didn't have soil drainage. Didn't watering correctly. A lot of mistakes I learned in the food business over the last couple of years, and documented some of it on earlier videos. And we may try to document again this year and see if the third time is a charm. I grew a garden back in the I guess early, mid 2000s, 2005, 6, 7 area, and had pretty good success with that. Had a lot of stuff, and so it can be done. I did raised bed, you know, I did cucumbers, I did squash, tried corn that didn't go so well. Did a lot of tomatoes, did okra, uh, and oh, Joy, you like the microgreens? I've seen that. I've watched videos on it, and I've seen it. And I think it's a pretty neat little thing, and especially like you said, to be able to grow year round. And I know a lot of people have had success with that. So yeah, definitely something that can be included into the option, especially if space is an issue. Um, you know, but yeah, that microgreens thing is pretty cool. What I've seen of it, haven't done it yet, but it's pretty cool. Um, so uh, anyway, buying directly from farmers, particularly, raising animals. You want some beef, you want some. Good morning, Janae. Glad to have you in with us. For those who, you don't live where you can raise animals or you're not able to raise animals, buying directly from farmers is awesome. It's a practice that strengthens local economies. You can support small scale producers and get high quality food compared to the mass produced alternatives or the factory alternatives. Um, Eggs, meat, dairy sourced directly from farms are fresher, ethically produced, more often than not, more nutritious. And not to mention, this is the best part, build relationships with local farmers, lead to deeper community ties, and access to insights about sustainable practices. Additionally, this approach aligns with the ideas of self reliance. It decreases dependence on industrial food systems. And that, for my brother and I, that's a big part of our thing is cutting links, breaking the links out of the chain, getting closer to your food. The less distance between you and your food, the more sustainable that is, the more independent that is, more self reliant that is. Um, and, I'll add in farmers markets, as was already mentioned, pharmacies, where, and that's with an FAR, pharmacies. Because there you not only can get locally grown products, but then a lot of times you get herbal medicines and things of that nature. Much like a pharmacy bar to table up in Oshaleta, Oklahoma, with our friend Bridget Nichols, which is essentially a farm hub, pharmacy type thing. And of course, farm hub is a place where uh, local farmers bring their products to what is essentially a store, and somebody handles the selling. It's kind of like having a booth at a resale shop or whatever. You know, you take care of that, you provide that, and then there's that person that conducts business day to day. Um, and then, of course, farm to market direct stores. I would put all these in those categories. Uh, there's one local to me, and again, they get their products within a certain radius of where their store is. They check the people out, et cetera, et cetera, and then they take orders online. They deliver. There's a lot of things like it, or you can go by and pick up, and they've got hours. And so, I mean, there's options out there, and if there's not one, be that change. And so, those are some areas where you can shop local, getting things like meat, eggs, dairy that you may not be able to raise or grow yourself, and I think that's super important in that. Number three, embrace secondhand shopping and bartering. This one's near and dear to me. But anyway, we adapt how we acquire goods adapting how we acquire goods play crucial role in reducing reliance on external income, as well as dependence entirely upon the whole chain. And I wholly encourage buying secondhand items and engaging in bartering. These practices extend the life cycle of products, minimize waste, and cut costs significantly. Reuse, repurpose, and recycle. That's what I'm huge on that. It's something that I practice myself. Uh, and I mean, everything from furniture, clothing, tools, appliances, you name it. Secondhand shopping offers quality, variety without the environmental burden of new production. So it's even environmentally friendly. Bartering fosters a sense of interdependence and reciprocity. Recipro- One of them words, anyway. Yeah, back and forth among neighbors creates a more cooperative community. Together, these practices demonstrate sustainability and savings go hand in hand. I can promise you that it does. My wife and I thrift shop regularly. She resells online, so I mean we're always going. But we've agreed that buying new clothing is ridiculous. Absolutely, it's a waste of money. We can get uh, great name brand and even designer clothes for a fraction of the cost of going to get a new. Now, I will say that socks and underwear are not on the list of things I buy secondhand. Ew, no, not happening. Uh, that's something I'm just like, no. There's some things you just ain't going to buy secondhand. But I love doing it. I mean, and it is the American way. And uh, it's you can trade out. You can say, I love Facebook Marketplace. It's I do a lot of stuff. Looking through there. Like I said, we resell online. We go to the a lot of the thrift stores and estate sales and auctions and things of that nature. That's just very few things do I buy brand new. Uh, that's just how I am. Some things you have to, but a lot of things you can get by perfectly fine. Recycle, reuse, and repurpose. Uh, Now, next, number 4, learn a DIY skill. That's do it yourself. The rise of DIY culture has reignited an appreciation for creating and repairing items ourselves. That was something that was lost for a while. Yep, etc. Right there. And the thanks to YouTube University, videos being out there about how to do just about everything, there has been a resurgence uh, in that. There was a period of time where we didn't fix anything. We just threw it away and replaced it. It was throwaway culture. They even got into cars. They had cars so cheap. It runs, it dies, it's cheaper. Just go get another one. And that was all designed by purpose, by the way. But anyway, the so, I mean, sewing clothes, crafting furniture, making household cleaning products, learning a new skill, DIY skill. One, it reduces the need for mass produced items. But I would suggest starting with a single project. Work your way up to bigger projects, like renovating your own house, like I'm doing. Uh, it's a manageable way to build confidence, competence. DIY projects provide opportunities to express your creativity and problem solving skills. It makes it you can make it your own, especially if you're doing something and it's for you. Um, Doing those DIYs, you can put your flavor and your taste in it. It's not just what everybody. So it can kind of, as I say, is custom. It cultivates a sense of resourcefulness, essential for self-reliance. Taking things, I got a trailer full of it was going to be thrown away. Wood and materials and stuff out there is, it's not perfect for everything, but I've got a lot of uses for it, and I have used some of it already, and that's the way to go. Anyway, because it cultivates sense of resourcefulness, essential for self-reliance. Over time, these skills can and will expand into profitable side hustles and deeper homesteading endeavors. Um, and so that's a huge skill to be able to do that. Now this last one takes a little. It's not a hard thing, but it takes a little discipline, and that is reduce your energy bills. Uh, Reducing dependency on traditional energy providers is an impactful step towards self-sufficiency. And while your ultimate goal may be living off grid, Chris Dodge, Ranchi Hot people I know that do it anyway. uh, or even installing solar panels. My best advice to give you is start with a more accessible starting point, such as um, insulating your home if it's not, using storm windows if you got old windows, replacing windows, which ain't cheap, but it pays for itself in the long run. Um, and this one is perhaps the best, adjusting your thermostat. Um, turning the lights off when you're not in a room. If it doesn't need to be on or powered in, maybe turn it off. Uh, LED bulbs, energy saving bulbs, energy saving appliances, updating appliances. I've got to do it in my house. My hot water heater is ancient, still makes great hot water, but it's probably not real efficient on the electric bill. Uh, these small changes can lead to noticeable savings on the utility bill. And it makes you aware of energy consumption patterns. I watch my utility bill comes in every month, and it'll show me last month. It'll show me a year ago on the same month how many kilowatt hours I used, and I can see the ups and downs. And like right now through the winter, I know I'm going to have a high electric bill. I can look back and see, the weather pattern, and uh, it'll tell me what kind of answers. Keith chimes in, and I know what he's talking about right here. Of course, I've been to his house multiple times. He said they only heat the spaces they use. And Keith, that goes into that brings something up that I didn't have in my notes, and that is like mini splits. Isolating out areas that you heat and cool, just the areas you're using versus an entire house. I know it has had a big impact on their house and their utilities. And so that's one more way to do it. So, and it lays the groundwork for large scale energy independence, demonstrating that self reliance is achievable in incremental steps. And that's what it's all about, it's the baby steps anyway. Um, Not all of us are ever going to go off grid or all this or that way. It'll always probably be a hybrid mix. But the journey, in conclusion, the journey towards self reliance is practical and philosophical shift. It begins with small, little tiny actionable changes and grows into a comprehensive lifestyle rooted in sustainability, independence, and community support. These five strategies, growing food, buying directly from farmers, adopting secondhand shopping and bartering, and exploring DIY skills and reducing energy use, illustrate some simple and actionable pathways available to build a more self reliant life. By embracing these principles today, individuals can not only save money and resources, but also reclaim that sense of empowerment and purpose in their daily lives. Remember this, it is very important. Self reliance is less about isolation and more about resilience and investment in ourselves and the world around us. Uh, as I was studying this, reading through these five things, I was amazed at how simple, uh, honestly, it really is. It's just these are small steps that you can baby step internally in each step. You don't start out, full blown in each step, but you can. Uh, and it is. It's about baby steps, and you know that it's actionable. You can see it, you can experience it. You know you're making a difference right away, and that'll encourage you to keep going. And it's achievable. If you start talking about getting acreage, or if you're like me, you already have some, and you start trying to plant, you want to build barns, and you got to build minimal pens, and you got to all these things. It becomes overwhelming. And in the wise words of our friend Lorraine Sheehat, pick one project, stay on that project, and finish it. So it is baby steps. It's doing things you can do, manageable, uh, much like uh, Joey was talking about a while ago about uh, you know doing the microgreens year round. That's something that's manageable. You know that works. Going to a farmer's market and buying starts to plant. Those are things that you can do that are manageable. Uh, and like I said. Just adjusting your electric being, it's watching your thermostat. Don't heat it up too hot or bring it down too cold. I keep mine typically 70 to 73 degrees. It's typically where I keep it in my house. Doesn't move a whole lot. It's not real big. I'm not trying to overcool or overheat. Uh, and that helps turning lights off, like I said. Little things on electric bills. Same thing with water, etc. Only use what you need. Those things all matter. But and All these are great things, and it's stuff that I try to implement in my life as well. But enough of that. We have went through those, and we are going to wrap this up. So hope you all enjoyed that information. Hope it's useful to you. Upcoming events, we're going to get started on that. February 21st and 22nd, Homesteaders of Iowa Expo 2025, Bridgeview Center in Ottawa, Iowa. My dog is over here pestering me. What are you doing? Uh, Anyway, our friend Monty Shrunk, the suburban sodbuster who was in with us this morning, will be there at that event. And I know Dr. Jones is going to be there, and Ruth Ann Zimmerman's going to be there. That's what I know. But anyway, that is in Ottawa, Iowa, February 21st, 22nd. Homesteaders of Iowa Expo 2025. You can look that up and find out details if you're in that area and want to go. March 21st, 22nd, Okie Homestead Expo, Mays County Fairground, Pryor, Oklahoma. Tickets on sale now, $50 two-day pass. Keith and I will be there in all of our wonderful regalia. Bringing the crew, setting up the set. We're going to be there. It's going to be a good time. You are most welcome, Rebecca, and that's the idea. Try to bring topics that are useful and informative. The Shindig, Ozark Living Expo, April 25th, 26th, Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper, Arkansas. I don't know much about that one other than that, but you can look it up. Homestead Festival at Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee. That's on Roy Feek's Place, June 6th and 7th. $75 general admission. Kids 6 to 17, $25. That is a huge one. There's a lot going on, 5,000 plus attendees. Anyway, planning to try to be there at that. We'll see how it works out. Ozark Homestead Expo, Marshfield, Missouri, September 5th and 6th. $50 for a two-day pass. Kids 13 to 17 are $15. And 12 and under are free, but must have a ticket. So that line up at Homestead Festival and Ozark Homestead Expo and Okie Expo are awesome lineups. And yes, thanks to all the early birds for getting in here and enjoying the show and participating and helping support the show. We do appreciate it. And moving on, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, McAllister, Oklahoma, September 26th and 27th. Tickets are $15. That is a great young expo, second year. A rendezvous down in McAllister, Oklahoma. We were privileged to be a part of the first one. You can find footage from that on our channel, and looking forward to this year as well. Homestead Conference, Homesteaders of America Conference 2025, Front Royal, Virginia. I think that's October 11th and 12th. Tickets on sale now, $50 for two-day pass. These are selling out quickly, so if you want to go, time to make the plans and get it done pretty quick, because there will be no tickets the day of. But anyway, it is a lot going on this year, and I'm sure there's a lot I don't know about. But anyway, those are the upcoming events over the next few months. Many of those that Keith and I will be at, one or both, or whatever's going to happen there with this year. But anyway, looking forward to that. Of course, tomorrow morning, we'll be back on 6 a.m. For the show tomorrow, and I'm quite sure I will find an interesting topic today to talk about, and we'll get that in. This coming Tuesday, my brother and I on Tuesday night, our regular Tuesday night live show, we will be talking more about the Self-Reliant scale and what that looks like. Oh, thank you, bro, for putting that up. Go ahead and put that up. How to find and source for local food. That URL right there is in the comments. It's also in the description. And it's find and source local food. And here's another one, buy local grocery list. Both of these are in the description down below. It's tools to help you find local and buy local. So there's some useful information that we have posted on the description and now in the comment block. But that's a wrap for today on the Farm2Table Direct Show Morning Edition. Thank you all for joining in as we explore headlines and stories impacting our world for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, subscribe if you're not to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep, your vision growing. Good food starts with great people. And remember, we are #stronger together. Be a blessing to someone today, and we will see you all on the other side. Everybody have a great day, and we will see you all, Lord willing, tomorrow. And I'm going to hand this over.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.